Well, Senior X30, one of the most anticipated races of the weekend. Multiple big names could be walking away with a GP plate this weekend. Multiple names have already won a GP plate in the past. One of those names, Callum Bradshaw, right here. He is starting on pole position. We've caught up with him a few times over the course of the weekend. We actually caught up with you, Callum, after the pre-final, and we asked you what the secret was to winning a GP plate. You said you wouldn't tell us after the pre-final. What about on the grid for the final?
No, definitely not. Nothing's changed. I'll tell you after this one.
Well, has there been any setup changes, any changes within the team, any changes within your mindset going into this race?
Yeah, we've made a few changes. Obviously, the tyres are new now, so you have to change the kart to suit new tyres. So hopefully we've gone well, and yeah, should be a good race.
Callum, best of luck for that one. Callum Bradshaw, GP champion in 2017. Harrison Mackie joining him alongside. We haven't spoke to Harrison yet this weekend. Obviously starting front row on the grid alongside a previous GP champion. It's a tough contender going down into turn one, but what's the vision for it?
Yeah, well, we were on the front row last year. Hopefully go do the same as what we did last year, but it's obviously a different level now, and just got to be sensible and get the best result we can out of it.
Of course, best of luck for it, Harrison. That is the 1-2-1 Senior X30 of Harrison Mackie. We'll move over to Gabriel Stilp. He said he's never won this one before, but it definitely is one that he would like to add to the accolades. Second row of the grid. I know you, Gabe, you would love to be on that front row of the grid. Second row you have to settle for. What is the game plan going into this one? You've got two very tough competitors in front of you.
Yeah, I'm definitely just keep my cool at the start, just let the race come to me and just not do anything too stupid at the start. But knowing me, I probably will, so I'll just see how this race goes.
Well, let's not do anything stupid at the start, and then we might have a good chance. You do have some very, very strong Croc teammates in the grid with you as well, though. Do you think teamwork might come into chance, or even just working with other drivers around the grid? We've seen it in the past couple races.
Yeah, with teammates at the front with me, I think, yeah, it could definitely help us. Just, yeah, having a few of us at the front, work together a bit.
And is this where that past experience of 2 IWF titles comes into it? Do you think that gives you an edge over the other drivers?
I don't know, I have to find out.
Well, I guess we will find out. Gabriel Stilp will be starting from third position. Mr. PFI, he's got his helmet on and he's already ready for this race. Gus Lawrence, second last year. Are we going to go one better?
Oh, for sure. I'm starting quite a lot closer to the front. Last year I started maybe 30th, around that area. So yeah, we'll see how the race plays out. Obviously everyone's at the front now, so yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, 31st and 4th, very different starting positions, but this is one of those where you've got a few drivers in front of you. Are you going to go aggressive early? Or are you going to let the drivers fight it out in front of you and wait for your opportunity?
No, for sure. We just have to see how the race plans out and see how it unveils, really. You can't make a plan, you just need to see how you get on.
Of course, thank you very much for your time, Gus. That is going to be our front two rows. Macaulay Bishop will quickly run over. It's not, he's already ready for me. We spoke about this last night. He said he would give me a quote of the day if he won. We could wait until after the final, but everyone wants it now. What's the quote of the day, Macaulay?
Oh, it's going to be carnage.
He said watch out for Sunday and it's going to be carnage. Hopefully you're not involved in that carnage though. Talking about carnage, everyone has to clear the grid now, so best of luck, Macaulay. But in just 1 minute's time, these Senior X30s are coming out to play and it will be a good race.
Mark Litchfield was the first ever Senior X30 champion at Kartmasters in 2014. Ben Barnacote won the first of his 4 X30 titles the year later. In between that, world champion Danny Curl, world beater Oliver Hodgson, Harry Platten twice, Gus Lawrence once, and Cian Geraghty have all taken this title. Callum Bradshaw's just upset because he came second to Ben Barnacote in the ultimate all-time Kartmasters champion awards. And Gus Lawrence, he'll look at you and say you haven't got a plan and lie to your face. Here he goes, Andy Clements, Callum Bradshaw, Harrison Mackie, row 1. Gabriel Stilp, Gus Lawrence, row 2, Macaulay Bishop, and Fred Green, row 3.
Row number 4, Caden McQueen with Croc Promotion, a reunion weekend and it starts on the 7th spot. Lewis Goff on the outside. Freddie Lloyd and Aaron Brown will make up row number 5, with Kevin Lantinga will be riding shotgun with him from 11th. Alongside him, Monty Brothway.
Row number 7, Joey Brown, Hayden Eldridge, Irishman, CJ Bennett and Tristan Powell go from row number 8. Harry Cottrell and Alfie Gallagher on row 9.
Row 10, rounding your top 20 starters, Leo Robinson, Henry Gregory, and behind them, Lewis Bird and Robbie Buckley. Row 12, Samuel Branston and Riley Etchberg.
Then it's Alistair Cresswell and Tiger Dixon, Sam Lewis and Jensen Buckingham, James Harris and Aaron Lask, your top 30.
Finally, you have your transfers out of the last chance opportunity here. Going all the way with George Maywell. Thomas Gray moves up a couple off of all the final results. Spencer Allen starts alongside Mayo, and then it's Theo Lestrange at 34th. And final row on the grid. It was a heartbreaker to watch, but he drove back up to it. The rocket ship Jack Nettleship here and Roxanne Lantinga. Keep an eye on both of them. They were fast, and Carnage in the pre-final has them buried in the field. Long road ahead from row number 18.
There is look at the banking and the grandstand and the VIP gantry and the mechanic stand. This is the one that a lot of people wanted to watch. Callum Bradshaw is one of karting's best characters. He embraces the role of sometimes the pantomime villain because everybody knows he is world class, one of the best in the world. He'd do great in the United States with Callum because there's full of characters over there. Zach Comandamello's got a friend as the bad guy out there, but you have to you admire and you respect, and a lot of drivers fear Callum Bradshaw, but his body of work in this sport is almost unparalleled. Greg's on legs is going to be quite quick, I think, as well. But like with Andrew Mather, Xander Clemens, I hope you've enjoyed your first Kartmasters. We've got a long way to go. Call them to the line. We're about to go racing.
There's nothing quite like it. Senior X30 Kartmasters is underway for 2025.
Through to it. Oh, Aaron Brown all out of shape going through the S's, but he saves it.
And look for the battle for the lead already.
Yep.
They were side by side. Bradshaw under attack early as they raced down the hill off the bridge. First run down to turn number 5. Bradshaw got away okay, and it is Stilp on the inside defending for second all the way back to the rest of the field. We've gotten all 36 through it so far, albeit with a few off-track excursions, as now ascend down the inside. Is that Harrison Mackey? Indeed. The 121 moves up to P2. No! Right back at him is the 342.
Stilp on the brakes. Cart squirreling around. Mackey comes back at him. Bishop shows him a nose as well.
Gus Lawrence in the middle.
Quote of the day so far, Gabriel Stilp said, oh, you just got to not do anything stupid on the first couple of laps, but knowing me, I will. As he then goes for an absolute send into Fullerton S and ends up losing 3 places. On board with Kevin Lantinga, under the bridge, onto the banking. He's looking to the inside. There's Gus Lawrence with Caden McQueen and Freddie Lloyd right behind them. Anyone in the top 10 can easily win this race. Don't count out Gregory and Brown, 13th and 14th. So far, this is going to run and run and run, Xander, because everybody now has got their heads down trying to catch Callum Bradshaw. We've been hyping this one up, but you know what? Callum's the type of driver, he'll look at that and think, I know you're probably saying, he knows what he's got in his locker as Callum Bradshaw. Paul Spencer from Strawberry Racing has said many times, Callum Bradshaw is the best driver I have ever worked with, and he has worked with generations of the best.
Well, Callum Bradshaw, this next lap will be tricky. You saw the midfield there. Caden McQueen got swallowed up by the pack, and multiple drivers along with McQueen went to the grass. Bradshaw will be the first one to it. They've already caught back up to him on the straight alone as Gus Lawrence picks up another spot and gets to 4th. But the question will now become, what does the run down to turn 5 look like? First time in a moment. Bradshaw's seen pressure. Mackey points forward, says he won't go at him yet, and he's going to hold him to it, and he'll buy himself some trust right now in the race leader as 3rd defends on.
And how mature is this from Harrison Mackey in his first year as a senior driver. Last year's British Junior X30 champion. He is surrounded by people, by people like that, like Freddie Lloyd, who has raced all over the place. He's surrounded by people like Gus Lawrence, the reigning triple British champion, and yet he keeps his cool. He's following ex-world champion Callum Bradshaw. You know, Bradshaw now understands that Mackie can be trusted. Okay, so he's not going to start backing the pack up into, you know, a 30-kart scrap.
Unless he has to. And Fred Green is trying to make that a reality. Good run down the hill for the O-plate. Still feeling the heat from Lawrence, and Lawrence is going to get dived by Lloyd. So Freddie Lloyd will get himself back a little bit further up the board. The number 2 plate now moves to 4th on the racetrack. And this group is still including Macaulay Bishop back there in the 68. Lewis Goff by himself there in 7th. Kevin Lantinga, who we're riding shotgun with right there in the 8th spot. Good view of the fight up front. Lloyd side by side with Fred Green. Contact again. Finally through for 3rd.
Yeah, Lloyd there just gives him a little hip check. Going through the Mike Wilson complex now. Where is Gabriel Stilp? The answer is he's dropped to 12th. Has Stilpy raced his way out of contention? I wonder. Caden McQueen has dropped back to 15th position. New leader Harrison Mackie, and Bradshaw's down to 3rd. Fast Freddie into P2.
Mackie gave him the opportunity, but it just was not there to be able to pull away. Lloyd now sells him a dummy, tells him to focus forward, and sends it for the lead. Back behind, Bradshaw now with a move by Fred Green and Gus Lawrence, and Bradshaw is trapped behind as now Macaulay Bishop goes to the high side. He'll get pushed a little bit wide and into the dirt, and Kevin Lantinga with a great view of it all as he closes on into the Fullerton S's. Nowhere to go. Up to the bumper of Lewis Caulfield trying to follow the inside. Can he get by Macaulay Bishop? A little contact here in the onboard cam. Oh no!
Lantinga up and out. The door was closing. And Bishop's gone as well. Has Bishop gone as well? I think he has.
Yes.
The door was closing. Bradshaw crosses the line. Where is Bishop? Bishop and Lantinga must be out. It's Lloyd, Mackie, then a 6/10 gap to Green, Lawrence, Bradshaw, Goff, Brown, Greg's on next, Stilp and Eldridge. A couple of contenders fall. Now, look at the gap. 1.1 seconds between Lawrence in 4th and Bradshaw in 5th. 2 seconds between 1st and 5th. This is where Bradshaw's body language never changes. You can't tell when Callum Bradshaw is at 100% or 80%. He gives nothing away. The only thing you can say is by the sector times. He's got company, however, in the form of Lewis Goff, Joey Brown, 2 Fusion Motorsport teammates, and the recovering, resurgent Gabriel Stilp. And check out the number 35 kart. That would be CJ Bennett, Ireland's CJ Bennett.
We got a good double.
Wow, that's going to go wrong. Up the back we
more.
go. Yep, they're dropping like flies. And that was, they just slid
that was
into each
Stilp
other.
and Joey Brown colliding, battling for the 6th spot right in front of Lewis Goff. He's had a good number of views at it, and as well into the pit lane goes Macaulay Bishop. Let's see if we can't take a look back now as things spread back apart for a split second.
Yep.
How he ended up in Parc Fermé a little bit early. Right here, first getting shuffled back. This is, he did keep going. There was someone else that went around. It was off the back of another. He and Lantinga tried to continue.
Yeah, Lantinga. Oh, wow.
And that was the 28 machine flying over the top of Lantinga.
Lantinga was
Robbie Buckley.
Lantinga was recovering, and then they just got vaulted over. Buckley was one of them, and Fred Green now moves into 2nd. After all that, we still got 4 at the front. It's Fusion versus Croc Promotion versus Premium Karting versus PF International. Then this group, Bradshaw in 5th, Goff 6th, 7th is Hayden Eldridge for the for Vismo International. Then his teammate Aaron Brown Greg's on legs and his own team owner driver, and Ireland's CJ Bennett for the Mark Dave Litchfield kart. And it's, wow. And that was, again, that's a narrow part of the track. Bishop and Lantinga were both slow, and other karters were trying to feed their way through, and Lantinga got...
no more contact.
Come
Lloyd
on now.
side by side with Fred Green as Green washes up, and now Gus Lawrence moves into second. Big time lead for Harrison Mackey. Back and forth still at the top of the hill. Lewis Goff gets by Bradshaw, who doesn't seem right now to have a whole lot of pace, and there is all kinds of contact back there. While up front, Lloyd goes back to try and reset now and recover and mentally get back to neutral behind Gus Lawrence. So this is your leaders here, and back in fifth onwards, it is a brawl. Lewis Goff at the helm, Bradshaw there, the 6 of Henry Gregory up the board, and a couple of big movers in this pack as well. Henry Gregory is up 11 in himself. Lewis Bird is up 10 in the number 5 machine. And remember, he had to go to the Repicharge race after a DQ from his final heat, drove from last to 17th to get on the grid for the Grand Prix. He's now up a few more.
Now, we've had 3 flashpoint incidents now. Freddie Lloyd and Fred Green being the third of those. Kevin Lantinga, our camera car, is still racing. Macaulay Bishop is the only driver who has retired from this race so far. Stilp is down in 20th. Joey Brown is 14th.
5-second penalty announced now. The number 2, Freddie Lloyd. 5-second penalty for that warning flag he had already received earlier in the session. And off that incident there, including himself and Fred Green, it's now drawn the ire of race control to a breaking point. So P2 on the circuit, trying to outrun a 5-second penalty. That'll be nearly impossible to get to the lead and get that kind of a gap. Never say never at Kartmasters, but what that means is he can play spoiler at this point and at least have a sense of pride to be the first one of the checkered flag.
Well, yeah, that's something that will cross his mind, I am sure. Gus Lawrence, however, is now got a debate. There goes Lloyd, and Mackey gives him space. Right. The next time by, Mackey knows. Does Mackey know he's got a penalty? The over-under cut back for Lloyd, and Gus Lawrence is thinking, right, if that turquoise blue premium car in number 2, you just disappear off into the distance, because I'll settle.
But not too far.
No, not too far. Not too, the middle distance.
Yeah.
The middle distance. Not over the hill and far away, but just sort of halfway up the hill.
So truly the race for the GP plate here. Gus Lawrence in the same spot that he took the checkers in a year ago. Second right now in what would be the final standings if they hit the checkers this time by the loop. But they will not. 4.5 minutes plus a lap still to go. Mackey, Lawrence, Green, and again, Freddie Lloyd leads, but he has a 5-second penalty looming. Callum Bradshaw now back at the helm of the second group, but they're 4 seconds away from this leading quartet.
Youth versus experience at the front of the field. And look at this pack.
Caden McQueen down the inside on Lewis Goff. That'll be another spot forward. It was a terrible opening lap. And second lap, too, for Caden McQueen. But finally, he's got the Croc promotion machine rolling and away from this scrum here into turn 6.
And look at Lewis Bird. Oh, Lewis Bird there picking up another couple of places. There's the 36 kart of
Change
Leo
up
Robinson.
front. Change up front. Gus Lawrence has now taken himself and Fred Green past Harrison Mackey. Freddie Lloyd still leads the way with the penalty looming. I think for all 3 behind him, as smart as it would be to just push the 2 plate away, they know that the safest place to be right now is probably the lead of the race on track. And of course, again, you talk about the sense of pride. Well, if you got the win off a penalty, it feels just a little bit less whole, a little bit hollow. I think Gus Lawrence, after last year, wants to be the first one of the checkered flag. And he's 2 car lengths away from the driver that stands in the way of that right now. Freddie Lloyd still showing the way.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand your point down there, but I mean, Gus is such a wily campaigner. He sees himself, well, there's eyes on the prize, and that prize does not include the premium karting number 2, Tiger Dixon. Gets his claws clipped and is out of the race. This has actually been a really good battle It's been a good clean back. You've got the 35 in there, CJ Bennett chasing Aaron Brown, who in turn is chasing Lewis Goff, who is chasing Lewis Bird. Now, this is the battle for the race lead with 2 minutes to go. Lawrence has got to try it. If he draws back up to Freddie Lloyd, he's going to have to try and pass him. He's trying to keep Freddie Lloyd out of the way so he can just deal with new race leader, Fred Green. The Oak Plate champion, Fred Green, moves into top spot for Croc Promotions. Harrison Mackie playing a watching game in third position.
Mind you, Henry, here, we know how much time the drivers will lose if they start defending, if they get too focused on the fact that Freddie Lloyd isn't really in the picture when it comes to getting the GP plate now, and defend and defend and defend. All of a sudden, that 5-second gap could become a reality.
Yeah, it's not beyond the realms of possibilities. And welcome aboard the nearly 2,000 of you that are watching this currently live. You're watching the closing stages of the Senior X30 Motorsport UK British Kartmasters Grand Prix. The two-plate kart has got a 5-second penalty. Freddie Lloyd leads, so it's the O plate and the 1 plate. The British Open champion versus the reigning British champion, first and second. The 2-plate last year's British Championship runner-up, and in third place, 1-2-1 Harrison Mackie. He's the reigning British Junior X30 champion. And this is after we have jettisoned a good half a dozen leading contenders in a number of incidents earlier on in the race. Still, the quality remains. World champion Callum Bradshaw is nearly 5 seconds back in P5.
Yeah, he's trying everything with his might right now with the help of Caden McQueen and Henry Gregory to close up to the leaders. But here's the thing. It'll be even tougher for Gus Lawrence and for Harrison Mackie to mount our counterattack on Fred Green, with Freddie Lloyd essentially being a pace car, giving tow and slipstream back to the O-plate and clearing a path for them all. And right there, a rare mistake out of Gus Lawrence, washing wide in turn 5, just opened the gap tremendously for Fred Green.
Yeah, that was unlike Gus Lawrence there. Out of the race goes Ireland's Robbie Buckley. He was one of the ones. Oh, and also Alfie Gallagher for R1 Racing has gone. Mechanical failures striking at the end of this race. Green wasn't supposed to do much karting in the UK this year, turned up at the O-plate, and when Alpha Live were going to do the sort of the driver portrait shots, he did a stupid pose. He went, it's all right, no one's ever going to see it. And then he went and won the British Open title, and everyone saw it the next day. He might have to dust off that photo again pretty soon, because he is less than a lap away from Kartmasters glory. Last year, one of the Green Racing family members, Will Green, was a champion in Water Swift. Are we going to see a grandstand finish? Lawrence is close.
Green covered a little bit in 6th. I don't know if he needed to. It's up to a half car length now for Gus Lawrence. The gap closing. He needs a major move a little bit sideways there in the Fullerton S. His final time through Bobby Gain here.
Here we go then, it's a couple of corners to go. Lloyd will cross the line first, but the GP plate, Kartmasters glory, the Green family become the 6th family who have got 2 family members who are Kartmasters champions. Freddie Lloyd has the penalty. Here comes the minor placings. There's the 33 of Alistair Cresswell, the black and red kart, trying to cross the line. This is for about 11, 12, 13,
21st here. A little further back. That's how close they all were at the end. A hard-fought race and a gut punch for sure for Gus Lawrence. I'd imagine watching Fred Green and doing everything in your power to try and stay close to him. But Freddie Lloyd right there, as much of a bummer as this may be to lose it in post-race due to the 5-second penalty, he'll still end up, it looks like, with a 5th place result, slotting in right behind Caden McQueen on that last couple of laps. Henry Gregory and Callum Bradshaw got in their own battle. And then for Lawrence and for Harrison Mackie, it was all they had. but Fred Green played it to perfection and was able to use the toe off the back of Freddie Lloyd to stay out of range.
And Caden McQueen in 5th position finished 5.01 seconds behind Freddie Lloyd.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Lloyd
So
will take 4th place. Provisionally, Fred Green, Croc Promotions, the Mad Croc Kart wins. Gus Lawrence, the bridesmaid for the 2nd year running. Harrison Mackey, a mature performance from the senior rookie. Then it'll be, McQueen 5th, Gregory 6th, Bradshaw 7th, Lewis Bird 8th at the moment. He's probably, there he is, he's passed more drivers than anyone else this weekend. Why? Because he keeps having to start from the back of the grid, and then the race he gets a nose cone penalty, goes back a little bit. There's Caden McQueen there going over to congratulate his teammate. Now, we've got Freddie Lloyd standing there. Also, the number 4, Lewis Bird had a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, he got one for the turn 6 incident earlier in the race.
He's about to be told, Freddie Lloyd has just been told, sorry, Freddie, penalty, move aside. And
Fred Green, to his credit, he knew it. He had watched the board earlier.
Yep.
He managed the gap. And the O plate will also be our GP plate for 2025. What a performance there. A huge congratulations from his teammate, Caden McQueen, to get 2 of the Croc Promotion entries inside the top 5 with an impressive comeback drive. McQueen went as far back as about 15th or 16th off the backwards opening, couple lap slide, and then recovers to where he finishes. Huge shout out as well to Henry Gregory, up 14 spots in the number 6 to P6. That's a very respectable march up the board.
And look at that. That in the black T-shirt, that's Pod. That's Stephen Lamian. That's Gus Lawrence's mechanic trying to get the Fred Green's kart to start. Kai Bacchini, the top 3 in Senior X30 are heading your way.
So the drivers make their way out of the final corner for the final time today, and it's an O that will be turned into a G and a P as Fred Green will take that number 1 spot. What was an opportunistic drive for Fred Green. He started 6th on the grid and made his way all the way up to the front. A patient drive from the driver in the Croc kart, but it's a GP plate that he'll walk away after this weekend and a secured entry into the Miami World Finals. Fred Green, something to be proud of. Fred Green on the grid here will grab for a quick chat. Obviously, Fred, you started a little bit further back in 6th this race. Seemed to be a methodical one. Just make your way through and wait for your chances.
Yeah, for sure. I started a bit further back than I would have liked due to a bit of a tricky pre-final. But yeah, from my experience from last year, I sort of knew that you just need to be patient and let the race come to you. And fortunately that happened. And, you know, it's not nice to win due to another driver's penalty, but yeah, I'm really happy.
And obviously, you've already got the O plate on your car. You've done the double and you've picked up the GP plate as well. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, of course, I'm over the moon to win such a prestigious race. I wasn't actually going to take karting very seriously this year, so it's nice to get 2 plates into the trophy cabinet. But yeah, I'm really happy, and yeah, it's a great race to win.
And for any more races this year, which plate are you going to have on the kart?
I'm not sure if I'm doing any more, to be honest, due to my car racing commitments. But probably the GP, and I've got a few photos of the O. But yeah, I'm really happy.
And anyone you'd like to thank for this race?
Yeah, all of Croc Promotion for helping me out over the last 2 years and progressing me very much so, and Aventus, Joe from Aventus, for doing a great job with the motors, and yeah, everyone.
And brilliant, thank you very much, Fred. This is yours, the GP plate that he will steam onto the car if he does any more races this year. But we will very briefly move over to Gus Lawrence, the P2 driver over here. Gus, it feels like a repeat of 2024. It's not the win you would have been hoping for, but it's still a great result.
Yeah, for sure, like 2nd or 3rd, whatever you want to call it. Not bad. Yeah, I seemed to miss a bit of speed there. Didn't really have the performance I thought as the other guys did. Maybe the setup change we went for didn't quite work out, but that's how it goes. But either way, whoever wins out of those 2, I'm not sure how it's going to go. But unbelievable driving from both of them. So, no, it was good racing.
Of course, and anyone you'd like to thank for this?
Everyone at PFI for hosting the event. Paul Fletcher for having me driving his team, my mechanic, everybody back at home, the family. It's been a good week.
Well, Gus, thank you very much for your time over the course of the weekend. Gus been one of the ones on the cameras quite a bit, and Harrison Mackie, just a quick one, 3rd place. What does this mean to you?
Yeah, it's obviously a good result overall, not the one we would have wanted, but still on the podium. It's a good result for everyone, good for the team, and that's about it.
And anyone you'd like to thank for this weekend?
Obviously, Fusion Motorsport, as I've said loads of times, are a family to me. They're a big part of my career. Joe at Ventus Power, bolting the right thing on the side, goes down straight all right. My mum and dad supported me and put me in the place where I am, and my brother helping out all the time, Danny Taylor, my mechanic, and everyone else supporting me at home.
Thank you very much for your time, Lewis. That was your top 3 for the Senior X30.
Finishing in 3rd position, driving for Fusion Motorsport, it's Harrison Mackie. Once again, James Mills presenting the awards. X30 Senior gets 3rd place for Harrison Mackie, £200 in cash and an entry to the IAMI Warriors final. Finishing in 2nd position, driving for PF International, Gus Lawrence. But your winner, adding the GP plate to his British Open title, driving for Croc Promotion, Fred Green. And Fred, whose cousin Will won a GP plate last year. The Green family joined the Mills family, the Russell family, the Behrman family, and the Edgar family and the Wooder family as having 2 family members to have won a Kartmasters title. So that is a remarkable achievement for there. Fred wins £600 in cash. No, £600 in cash. The GP plate, the IAMI Warrior final, entry and race tyres, and a Bardall Care kit, courtesy of JM Engineering.
Next Junior X.
Yes. So, drivers, top step. Thank you. Congratulations, Senior X30, ladies and gentlemen.